All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to do issue 6 of America's Best Comics. This is top 10. And I must say, this is probably the most bonkers comics that I've read in years. This is a hidden gem, in my opinion. This is so weird and cool at the same time. So, without further ado, let's dive in. The fun thing with top 10 is it's stories within stories, and later those stories become the main stories, and then there's those sub stories that become later the main stories. It's very weird. So Asmax or Smax, that's how I call him, is seeing things and they disappear. So he goes to the precinct and in talking to this one of these girls that suddenly who's a lesbian now says, "Hey, maybe we can go out. I want to go out with you." And says, "Yeah, but I'm gonna report this thing with my uncle because his uncle was disappearing." And so he comes in and he sees his best friend's Willie, and he says, "Hey, this is great. Nobody told me to transfer you back to the precinct." Ah, I said, "How are you, buddy?" "Ah, great. Things are great. Fats, it's so good to see you, man. You really are my best friend." And he says, "Hey, what can I say? Maybe you said it that before it was too late." "Too late, Fats? What are you saying?" And then Robin comes in and he says, "Hey, how do you know each other, right?" And she says, "Hey, Fat, sorry about to hear about you and Jeff's uncle, and just getting killed hurts, Fats." "Yes, child, it does. It hurts like a silent friend." And then he's Smax is getting a crisis here, and he wakes up and is dumb. And I didn't think, thought I thought, he's a police officer. Why is he living in this dump with a spare tire and whatever this weird thing on the floor is? And to make it even weirder, so he's, I don't know, cleaning himself up, and there's something in his closet that talks in weird ways, and he says, "Shut the hell up. You make another sound, I'm gonna snap you in half." So he gets his clothes and gets out, and then I thought, where does he live? Well, he lives in a trailer. And it's snowing, so he goes to the precinct, right? But also picking up Robin, who is caring for her father, and her neighbors looking out for him, right? And and then we have this at the precinct. So I don't know, these cops heroes have some fun with each other, but they also do some. So she's using her powers to get rid of the snow, and she, I don't know, can clone herself, I guess. And in the last issue, by the way, they captured the Libra alien, the Libra killer, who is actually a alien. So the cops all, I mean, the press is all over that. So we introduced to a new guy. He says, "I'm Harry Lovelace, the Word." So he's basically a how do you say, a hostage negotiator, and he's very persuasive. So he's coming back a little bit later here. And then we're getting introduced to, the other guys and girls at the precinct, right? And so they're talking about the bust, and he says, "Hey, who did the bust?" Well, we see who did the bust. It was among others Peregrine, and we come back to that little particular scene with the Peregrine, well, a little bit later, although she is not here in the comic right now. But and she says, "Hey, last night sounds busy. Didn't Detective Jackson get a lead on the Kratzig case? Yeah, found some kind of radioactive drug. Neopolis Museum." I forgot about that. That's true. They went to the museum and they found some weird stuff. And didn't someone say the ghostly goose was arrested last night as well? So a little bit of a context who didn't follow this book. I urge you to do it. I did all the reviews so till this point. The ghostly goose is some kind of an invisible being that likes to squeeze women's butts. And yeah, maybe something grabbed Jackie Phantom's. Oh yeah, so this woman, I forgot. This this is Jackie Phantom, by the way, I believe. Right? Someone grabbed her ass in the deer. She has a whole place bagged as evidence. All right. And so we're getting to see, this result about bagging Libra. So Libra is now here comprehended, and someone says, "Hey, will you look at that? That's McGraw Qualls. She was this alien porn star." So we see a sergeant, Doberman, and he's now out of his how do you say, his exoskeleton suit, because the Libra killer sliced it up. And Robin's a little bit confused here. He says, "Hey, it's in a machine shop, fixing it right now." And but then this operator gets a call. There's a disturbance at Marconi Street. So the sergeant says, "Hey, Irma, can you and Lee handling this, right?" And so Irma says, "Hey, I gotta say, you seem pretty pally with Sarge after punching him out the other day." A little bit of a context more. So Irma has, I don't know, beef with the Sarge because it seems that Sarge, who is colorblind, can see who she is underneath this all. So this is not a costume. That's actually her skin that is changing all the time. And she's actually naked. But that's not what she's saying to Irma. So what was that, incidentally? Nothing, just a misunderstanding. Doesn't he look weird, though, without his exo frame? He's so much smaller. Plus, he's just a dog. I mean, I knew that, but all the same, right? But then she says, "Oh, no, what? We're going to hit the sleigh, and then we have Santa Claus and Kiss." And so they're... This guy looks like Dr. Doom. So they are following this Santa, and it's snowing, by the way, and Irma says that one of his reindeers is dead, and so Santa says, "Ho ho, let's see what Santa has in his sack for you, shall we?" He says, "Hey, you can bust him. He's Santa." "Ho ho ho, I got these two ladies on my list. Now let's see, have they been naughty or nice? Naughty or nice? Which do you think, children?" "Naughty!" And they're thrown in this pile of snow. And so they're calling for backup, right? And because, well, they kind of nuke him because Irma's pretty powerful, right? So the operator says, "Hey, there's some disturbance. We need to get some people over there." Now, Lieutenant, I'm sorry. So this, what's this? Detective Jackson here is getting this woman tried to call Detective Jackson. He says, "Hey, where's Lieutenant Colby Peregrine?" He says that Andy Soames guy. So I thought, Andy Soames, who was that again? Oh yeah, there was that big balloon fat guy, right? He says, "Hey, it's not my case. I'm still analyzing the weird atomic smack we found at the museum." And so he says, "Hey, we need to go to Marconi Street, right?" And he says, "Hey, put Smax and Slinger on it, all right?" So they continue the conversation. And he says, "This thing with Soames, we had him in over holding a room overnight, and I know what to do. It's about his blood test." "Why? What's the problem?" "Storms is the problem. He's tested positive." Now, I'm not sure what Storms is. Maybe it's been referenced in the earlier books that I reviewed, but it doesn't ring a bell. But he says, "Hey, maybe we should, get over his wife and run some tests, right?" And she's being depressed because he's not good with bearing the bad news. Anyway, so Detective Jackson say, "Hey, Smax, I got a call for you and Slinger. Irma and Lee are the 7 and Marconi handling some kind of a psychokinetic Santa." "Right. And because it's a joke job, you figured you sent me, huh?" So it seems these two had a thing once in a while back, and they broke up. And he thinks that she is punishing him, right? "So why can't Dwayne handle the comedy calls?" "Officer Smax, you are officially getting on my nerves big time. Dwayne's busy somewhere else right now, okay?" "Sure. Busy doing grown-up job, I bet. Catch you later, Detective Jackson." So he's pretty petty to a certain degree. Speaking of Dwayne, so I forgot that Dwayne is at his mom's place where there's some things going on, and it seems some superpowered mice or rats is tearing the building down, and he called some rat exterminator that's bringing some, I don't know, atom cats to deal with them. He says, "Hey, can you come up with something else, right? Except poison or traps for the ultra mice? You're joking, right? Man, those little bastards, they got heat vision, they're invulnerable. Maybe except to Arcanite or magic, but still mostly illegal." Anyway, so he says, "But cats, I mean, that's just plain barbaric. Some of those mice speak English, for God's sake." "Excuse my son, mister, he's always been soft on animals." Yeah, well, I guess he's never seen what havoc those little free-fingered hands can do. Now, if you excuse me, I have a job to do. So he's sending the cats to these superpowered mice that looks like, I don't know, Captain America and the Martian Manhunter doing weird stuff, right? So and of course we don't see it, but it's mat for rats or mice versus cats, and they have capes on. And he says, "Hey, maybe I could move in with you," says Ma. I don't know, Ma, you wouldn't like my place. And it says, God damn. See, I told you. Okay, you move in just for a while. And they're talking about the blizzard that's coming in. Meanwhile, Smax and Ramen comes in, right? And he says, so Lee gets a more notification. He says, "Hey, Yana says this guy's William Rainstorm Burnett escaped from Neopolis Psychiatric Infirmary early this morning. He's a psychokinetic who thinks he's Santa Claus. Also, some reindeer went missing from the zoo. First dragons now. I heard enough." So he says, "Hey, Wacko, lose the munchkins. I have reasons to believe those reindeer are stolen." So Santa's using his psychokinetic powers to throw him into the air, right? Well, Robin is using her toys to attack him, but then he sends it back. Yeah, nice going. Now we got all your G.I. Joe does acid stuff to deal with. He's somehow overriding my control. He's a psychokinetic dummy. That's what they do. Geez, could the situation possibly get any worse? So Smax falls into the police car, but he's okay, right? And so then this hairy guy comes in. He says, "It's a screw up, that's what it is. Maybe I've just stunned the kids." And he says, "Cease using your powers and put your hands up." And then everybody's doing that. And so he made a mistake, said, "Okay, Santa, can you keep his hands up and his power restrained? Everybody else release." Wow, that was horrible. My arms weren't doing what I told them. Yeah, frankly, Loveless' whole act gives me the creeps. Come on, let's pacify those reindeer. So dispersing the kids, right? And he says, "Hey, it stopped snowing." So it seems that he is a class 2 psycho kinetic. He can slow molecular vibration and lower the temperatures, right? So he says, "Hey, what's the story with the reindeer?" "Why, they're mine, Comet and Cupid and Prancer, and of course Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer." "Yeah, that's Rudolph the dead-ass reindeer. Must have had a heart attack finding itself 1,000 feet up." All right. So again, so they are. He says, "You're deporting me back to the North Pole, aren't you?" So, geez, he made it snow all over the state, and he's only a class 2 psycho. What's it? What can class 1s do? Snuff or ignite suns. There's only 2 of them, and they are under deep security. What? That's pretty powerful. Let's go get some lunch. So, so then Smax is talking about his dreams, and he says, "Well, I'm not coming on to you. I don't even like you," but he wants to talk about it. So we have, I don't know, does this look like Banshee? Because he's Irish. And isn't this Caitlin from Gen 14? And Monica from, I forgot that fantasy comic with, with the big boobies, back in the 90s. Because, that guy that is now into computer games just stopped doing the book. Monica, Red Monica, Monica the Red. It looks like it. Look at his designs, man. It looks great. So he says, "Hey, what about that? Was I in it?" "Yeah, but look, it doesn't matter what's it about, okay? The point is, it left me with this feeling that I should maybe try and act nicer with people, before it's too late and anything happens to him or whatever." "Well, thanks. That's really heartwarming. So why don't you tell me about this dream? Was it like some weird sex thing?" "Okay, that's it. Forget what I said. Anything. I mean, I make a genuine attempt to be a nice guy, and you just, wait a minute. What's all that crap up ahead?" So then this woman comes in, and she's saying, "Hey, there's something wrong with my son. They killed him." He said, "Okay, take it easy. What's the problem here?" "Freya, wife of Woden." "It's my son. Someone killed him. Please, you have to come." "Control, this is car 6. Yeah, we got a reported homicide in the Gods Bar just down Pike Street. Me and Officer Max are responding. So we having a party for my son. Everything was fine, and then, oh, it was horrible. Jeff, she's nearly bigger than you. And look at the size of this place. Are these people, mutants or advanced aliens or something?" "No, they're gods." there, you see what they did to him, my beautiful son. And so Smack says, okay, we're police officers. Nobody move in mysterious ways. Get it? Gods move in mysterious ways. So, so that's great. And we have Odin here, and is this Surtur or is this Odin because he has a hammer? So who's this then? Balder maybe? I don't know, but it leads us to the next issue. But since Freya, so this must be four. So it leads us to the next issue. This is great. This is absolutely great. Like I said, one story wraps up, the other one comes in, and it continues with this very weird stuff, and it's actually very well done. So, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. We're going to do, like I said, the whole thing. Issue 6, I believe there's 12. So we're going to do all of them. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.